All right, so welcome back to another edition talking about it. We are on December 4th, 2025, and I've got an amendment from my senior heavy metal correspondent, Aussie Crazy Baby, Miss Jamie Sawyer, that well, right here, Ozzy Osbourne's birthday was yesterday. This should have been nationally covered on all the major headlines. It wasn't. So shout out to Jamie for reminding me that the Prince of Darkness himself would have been his 77th birthday. So rest in peace, Ozzy, and your $220 million that Sharon is spending without you. So, with that said, timeline, ABC, Why We Love Ozzy, 5 Surprising Facts. Barbara Bush is his fan. That's nice. He once fought a robber. He has homemade tattoos. I have one of those myself. Not of Ozzy, but homemade in a kitchen. And then he gets staged for that's hard to believe. Man, no shit. He's been arrested before. So if you want to check out Ozzy, this is on nationaltoday.com. Now, moving on. Since I'm 5 minutes before the end of the day, again, I do this around midnight so I can get on a new day. So I try to start, or I will start 5 minutes prior to recap the day before. And with 3 minutes to go, there's been 362,000 births today. Now, in 3 minutes' time, that might reach 363,000. And 171,000 people checked out. So, run through this. We gained 192,000 people today. Now, let me cue the radio. How's that volume? All right. Let's see. Stats under 3 minutes. I got to change these to today. So we produced 250,000 cars. Change all these to today. We got 8,000 books. We've got about 8 millions cell phones sold today. A lot of money spent on video games today. Emails, tweets. I'll change all these to today. Again, this is statistics for the end of December 3rd. 30,000 people died hungry today. A lot of money on weight loss. Change this to today. 13 million liters of water. I don't know about that one. Seems a little low. 13 million liters of water. Okay, I might be able to see that. Let's see. We have 95 million oil barrels pumped today. And we're at 146,818 days to the end of coal, which yesterday equates to about 402 years. So I think we're good. Any of us that are alive right now. Oh, deaths of mothers burned during birth today, 846. Death caused by malaria, only 1,000. 22,500 by cancer. AIDS is still a thing. People still dying from AIDS. No COVID statistics. And $1 billion on drugs. $1.1 billion on drugs, and 0 road traffic fatalities today. I call bullshit on that. Yeah. And this is getting ready to switch back. So here we go. A new day. A new day. So within seconds, we're already 2-1. All right, moving on. This is our current satellite view from Zoom Earth of the United States. Let's look at, let's see, is Asheville on here? Asheville, we got looks cold, feels cold. There's a radar. Uh-oh. Looks like it's a pretty good storm moving across Louisiana. There's our precipitation model. There's all our winds. Check this map as well. So, as we can see, still a lot of shit burning. We got a lot of fires on the southeast. Got a lot of fires. Fires all over South America. Fires everywhere. All right, so let's get to the CIA fact of the day. Nope. Where's the CIA fact of the day? Where are you? Huh. No fact of the day? No fact of the day. Really? I find that hard to believe, CIA. World Fact Book. Nothing. All right, well, moving on. National holidays on December 4th. We've got National Cookie Day, Cabernet Franc Day, World Wildlife Conservation Day, and International Cheetah Day. All right, the history of National Cookie Day. Cookies themselves can be traced back much further than most people would imagine. It is estimated that in the 7th century AD, that's before Jesus, Persians were some of the first to grow and harvest sugarcane, which would eventually be turned into baked goods. The movement of people for trade, war, and led the glory of sugar to be brought into Europe. And by the 14th century, cookies had come there as well. Then, when Europeans migrated to the Americas, they brought with them their sugar as well as their cookie recipes. Americans eventually began developing their own types of cookies, the chocolate chip cookie being the most famous of all. 1987, Matt Nader of the San Francisco-based Blue Chip Cookie Company created National Cookie Day, saying, It's just like having National Secretary's Day. It will be just a fun thing to do. This fun and sweet holiday has also been championed by the Cookie Monster from Sesame Street, obviously a supporter of all things that are cookie related. Although the day did not originate with him, some details about National Cookie Day can be found in Random House's Sesame Street Dictionary, which was published back in the 1980s. Since then, word got around the globe that there was much tasty fun to be had on December 4th, and people from various countries all over the world began to celebrate National Cookie Day. Let's look at the timeline. 1st century AD, Scottish oatcakes. While some might argue that this started out as a version of bread, what they turned into was something that is certainly very close and resembling a cookie. Scottish oatcake. No clickable imagery. Wait a minute. We got a footer here. The history of the oatcake. Oatcakes have been a staple in the Scottish diet since at least the Roman times and probably long before. In the 14th century, John Le Bel accompanied a French court to England and Scotland and describes nuns making little pancakes rather than communion wafers, and this thought to be describing the making of oatcakes. At this time, Scottish soldiers would carry a sack of oatmeal and a griddle, which they would place over a fire. The oats would be moistened and formed into a cake, which was cooked on the griddle. So that's Mackenzie's. 7th century, many cakes are used to test ovens. See what this is. No, error 404. All right, never mind. When testing to see if the temperatures were right, ancient Persians, some of the first to grow and harvest sugarcane, may have used tiny cakes to check their ovens. These little cakes may be the ancient ancestors to today's cookies. The 11th century ladyfingers emerge. These delicate little spongy cakes actually resemble something like cookies and were first made in France. The first recipe hails from the House of Savoy. Anything on the House of Savoy? From what'scookingamerica.net. Ladyfingers. Oval-shaped cookies are cakes that are also known around the world as boudoir biscuits, sponge biscuits, sponge fingers, Naples biscuits, savory biscuits, Savoiardi. Is that how you say that? And biscuits a la Collier. These are basically very delicate sponge-style cake that is dry, egg-based, and sweet sponge biscuits roughly shaped like a large finger. They're called ladyfingers because of their shape as they resemble the thin, delicate fingers of a woman. Ladyfinger cakes are a delicacy considered to be one of the rarest of baker's arts, and they were introduced into America with the earliest French settlers. The dainty cakes are extensively used as an ingredient for elaborate French and Italian dishes. All right, that's what's cooking America. 14th, Oh, in 1902, they invented the animal crackers. Now this is where it's at. Remember those? Anybody remember these? A good source of calcium. Yeah, animal crackers. It's 1902. I think the elephants and the giraffes tasted the best, with a new look and same great taste. All right, not to spend too much time on National Cookie Day. So how to celebrate? It's simple and easy. Celebrating Cookie Day means enjoying a cookie and perhaps sharing one with a friend. So if you like, you can go to dayoftheyear.com and research National Cookie Day. Moving on to wine. Cabernet Franc is a good red wine to pair with a variety of delicious foods. Doubtfully cookies. I doubt cookies. I don't know. But even though they had this whole day dedicated, it was one of the lesser-known Cabernets, and many people still have questions. But what does it pair with? Well, what are its origins? To learn these and other interesting answers, get ready to head over to France to discover more about what Cabernet Franc is all about. It's believed to be established in the Libernazes region of southwest France sometime in the 17th century when Cardinal Richelieu transported vine cuttings to the Loire Valley. These previous vine cuttings were planted in the Abbey of Bergiel under the care and abbot named Breton, whose name became associated with the grape. All right, let's see what else. How to celebrate. You drink it. Well, to celebrate this day, the first course of action should, of course, be to have a glass of this while enjoying a wonderful home-cooked meal. Pairing a fine wine with a home-cooked meal is not only a good way to spend an evening, but it's also a good way to make an evening date more romantic. Ooh la la. Try it with a plate full of grilled steaks or chops, a lovely piece of salmon, or for a vegetarian option, go to portobello mushrooms, peppers, and olives. Take a trip to France. There's some FAQs. All right, moving on. World Wildlife Conservation Day. Dedicated efforts to protect our planet's incredible creatures and their habitats, ensuring future generations get to share in the wonder of the world, wonder of nature. The sad truth is, the world's best loved, beautiful, and fascinating species are being slaughtered by widespread and dangerous criminal networks that will stop at nothing to get what they want. And what they want are animal parts and its products that, for reasons no sane person really understands, are worth lots of money. So, there's plenty of synthetic substitutes for things like ivory and fur that don't require the brutal slaughter of an animal to obtain, not to mention how hard it is to actually tell the difference between high-quality synthetic substitutes and the real thing. The history. A call to action was put out by Miss Hillary Clinton in 2012 to raise awareness and engage conservationists of Wild Conservation Day, December 4th. During the Wildlife Tracking and Conservation Call to Arms, the event was held at the State Department on November 8th, 2012. Secretary Clinton outlined the White House's strategy to address the global problem of wildlife tracking. These efforts are estimated to cost between $7 and $10 billion a year. Wildlife cannot be manufactured, and once it's gone, it cannot be replenished. Those who profit for it are illegally not just undermining our borders and our economies, they are truly stealing from the next generation, she said. And that's coming from Clinton. Right. So, how to celebrate this? Raise awareness and contribute to the conservation and protection of endangered species such as elephants, rhinos, and tigers on World Wildlife Conservation Day's website. This global occasion provides everyone with the opportunity to learn about wildlife conservation and to be part of the solution to wildlife crime. Go online and join thousands of other individuals who have taken the Wildlife Pledge. Yeah, you can take action with the WWF. All of its donations will go towards training and equipping the rangers who are wildlife protectors, and the only thing standing between a baby tiger or an elephant is a poacher. Okay, so we got some FAQs. And moving on to National Cheetah Day. They are Mother Nature's precision, high-performance machine designed to do the job and do it with incredible skill and effectiveness. They can accelerate faster than a Ferrari, tearing up the ground from 0 to 75 in just 3 seconds. And they come with a self-grown paint job that would make the fanciest of muscle cars blush with envy. That's right, the Cheetah. International Cheetah Day celebrates these incredible animals while raising awareness about their threat of extinction, so get ready to enjoy Cheetah Day. As founder of the Cheetah Conservation Fund, the CCF, Dr. Laurie Marker chose to commemorate Chaim, a cheetah she raised at the wildlife safari that she ran in Oregon, by establishing December 4th as International Cheetah Day in his memory. Chaim served as part of an important experiment that helped determining whether or not captive cheetahs can be taught to hunt and live in the wild on their own after being in captivity. After a trip to Namibia, the experiment was proven successful. However, Dr. Marker and Chaim still returned home following the experiment after observing that local hunters were eliminating wild cheetahs as a threat to their livelihood. Driven by this encounter, Dr. Marker decided to move to Namibia to help heal the rift between farmers and the majestic cheetah. It was in 1990 that she founded the CCF. Cheetahs are incredible animals, being the fastest land mammal in the wild today. Sadly, though, the numbers used to be significantly higher. There are only 8,000 of these creatures left in the world today, a number that leaves them as Africa's most endangered feline. A cheetah's full running speed is so fast their feet only touch the ground once every 6 to 7 meters, and their muscular tail helps steer them like a rudder at these high speeds. Needless to say, once a cheetah has a prey in their sights, there's no running away. How about that for a pun? So you can host an International Cheetah Day party. Get some friends, family, and coworkers together and host a party that means something. Exclamation mark, something. Use a cheetah theme and have decorations resembling the cheetah spots, or also a jungle theme. When guests arrive, give them all headbands with cheetah ears on them to wear at the party. Serve snacks along the theme, such as Cheetos paws, or make a decorate cheetah cake. Finally, for evening's entertainment, watch a cheetah documentary, as listed above. Help with cheetah conservation, spread the word about International Cheetah Day, FAQs, And moving on to National Dice Day. Dice are popular throughout the world, judging from the fact that Sanskrit epics mention them and that they've shown up on various archaeological sites. They've probably been around as practically as long as civilization itself. While many people think of dice as only being a tool for gambling, they're also essential to board games such as backgammon and Monopoly. So let's go to the history of Dice Day. While dice can be found throughout the world, the oldest known set comes as part of the Royal Games of which is the oldest existing board game, dated at approximately 4,400 years old. Ancient dice were not terribly different from modern forms. The concept of a six-faced cube with dots has been the world's most popular pastime and gambling tool for centuries. Tetrahedral dice and other shapes have also been around for quite some time as well. Materials such as ceramic, various metals, wood, and stone were all used to create dice of various shapes and sizes. Brass dice have been around for a very long time in Tamil Nadu, and soldiers during the American War of Independence used hammered dice out of lead musket balls to keep themselves entertained. So, how to celebrate? Obviously, you play dice games. Let's see, Bunko, played with the 9 dice, a little bit of skill and a whole lot of luck. Bunko is typically played with large groups, 12 players to split up into teams of 4. Points are awarded based on rolls, and the winner takes all. We've got Yahtzee. It's a classic family game, requires some luck and just some paying attention. Scorecards are kept by each player using the poker philosophy of getting pairs, full house, and other combinations. Players use strategy to decide which items to score a win. Farkle. This dice game encourages players to take huge risks in order to win it all. Players roll all 6 dice and then set aside the bankable dice. They can then re-roll for more points or pass to the next player. If they choose to re-roll but nothing comes out, they must forfeit all their points. So bring dice day games to work. Yeah, do that on your break. Host a dice day game night. And our FAQs. Oh, National Flip a Coin Day. A lot of things going on December 4th. How to celebrate. I guess you flip coins. That's actually I can do right now. Here's a coin. Here's a coin. Let's go to the main camera. Got a coin right here. Heads. All right, I celebrated Flip a Coin Day. Let's see. Visit a U.S. Mint. One superb way to celebrate Flip a Coin Day might to show appreciation for coins by seeing how and where they are made. In the United States, there are 4 official cities that house mints, which hold the responsibility for printing the paper money as well as minting the coins. That then will go into circulation as financial currency. All right, so famous coin tosses. Well, some people think that flipping a coin is just over trivial things that don't amount to much. Many very important decisions in history have actually come down to the fate of a coin. In honor of Flip a Coin Day, check out some of these most famous coin tosses. Orville and Wilbur Wright. These 2 brothers famously tossed a coin to determine what would be the attempt of the first manned airborne flight. Wilbur actually won the coin flip, but could not keep the plane in the air, so 3 days later, Orville tried and succeeded. Portland, Oregon. It's an area originally called the Clearing. 2 New Englanders in 1845 that couldn't agree upon a name for the town, so they chose to flip a coin, a copper 1-cent piece to be exact. The winner was Francis Pettygrove, who had come from Portland, Maine, and the coin still remains in a museum where it's called the Portland Penny. Here's Hillary again. Because some strange procedures of the state of Iowa, a dead heat between Democratic Party candidates Hillary and Bernie Sanders brought things down to a coin toss, or some coin tosses, for the 2016 presidential campaign. Clinton won all 6 coin flips. Think about that. Hillary Clinton winning 6 coin flips. Right. All right. Have a coin flipping competition. Pick up a nickel or a quarter and just start flipping in celebration of Flip a Coin Day. Those who are on their own can simply see how many heads or tails in a row is possible to get, or grab a family member or friend and have a competition with 2 different coins to see how possible it is. What if you flip a double-headed coin? All right, so the history. Since the 7th century BC and or so around these times, these coins are typically made of gold or silver. So the practice of flipping a coin or performing a coin toss to make a decision can be traced way back to the Roman Empire. Yeah. Of course, at that time, heads or tails. People might have called this heads or ships because the coins often had the head of an emperor on one side and a picture of a ship on the other. The phrase heads or tails probably didn't come around until the late 17th century, which had been attributed to Thomas Ottaway, an English dramatist. All right, Thomas. Wait a minute. Did I just fuck this up? Oh. That's June 1st. What did I do there? Ah, okay. Never mind. Disregard Flip a coin day. My mistake. So the only things to celebrate on December 4th is cookies, wine, wildlife conservation, and cheetahs. Disregard, flip a coin. I'll get back to that on June 1st. All right, moving on. What is our dictionary? What's dictionary? Word of the day. Well, that's still stuck on December 3rd. Word of the day. No update on word of the day. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Yep. Not prepared. Let's see what we got on the Mint news here. Is this relevant? I don't know if anything's relevant here. Let's check this out. What is this? Sudden stratospheric warming. All right, let's see what we got here with this bird. Pause that. Play that.
It's got the beautiful stripy tail feathers of a blue jay, but the head of a different bird called a green jay. Local bird watchers are calling this a grue jay. One of these birders saw it and logged it on their app.
First noticed by a woman named Donna, who's a homeowner outside of San Antonio.
Well, eventually a PhD candidate named Brian R. Stokes came to catch it, take a blood sample, and release it.
We compared the nuclear DNA, which is inherited both from your mother and your father, with samples of DNA from potential parent jay species that are found in Texas.
What he found was a 50-50 split of DNA between these two species, a so-called wild hybrid between a female green jay and a male blue. Stokes is now the lead author on this paper.
We thought they would be really antagonistic with one another. So yeah, we were really caught off guard.
This kind of crossbreeding is exceedingly rare in nature, he says. Usually, species' body parts and genetic differences are too wide to make viable offspring. Sometimes it works in species that have common ancestors, which the blue and green jay do, but the last time they intersected was 7 million years ago.
A great example.
All right, let's see if we got anything on National Cheetah Day. National Cheetah Day. Let's see if we got any videos. Resource library. Educational materials. Annual reports. Nothing updated so far this year. All right. Someone's lacking on National Cheetah Day. Let's go to technology. What do we got here? Technology. Uh-oh. Is Venmo down? Over 14,000 users in the United States reported outage and transfer failures of Venmo. So let's go to some Earth cams. See what's going on in these Earth cams. This is Florida Marina Cam. Chicago. Chicago again. Wrigley Field in Chicago. There's New Orleans Bourbon Street. Looking pretty dead. Michigan Snowman Cam. We got here, is that 14 inches, I guess? Cleveland. There's Taiwan. And that's all they give us. That's all they give us on Earth Cam. Let's see. Since it's dark in America, let's look at. Let's see what's going on in Australia. It's not a very good camera. That CIA fact of the day come up yet? No. No CIA fact of the day. CIA.gov. World Fact Book. No, nothing. Okay. Okay. Where else is it daylight? Let's check, what was this? All right. Well. Oh, here we go. What do we got here? Oh, it's just a photo. Just a photo. All right. Pretty boring day, I guess. Oh, let's check Japan out. Japan should be daylight. No, Japan's in the dark too. I know for a fact Phuket is awake. It's yeah, not cameras. All right, well. There's all the current storms in the United States. There's our daylight line. It's a hurricane. Yep, looking pretty cloudy over Bangkok. That's their smog. All right. Well, approaching the 45-minute mark, so check some temperatures real quick. Ooh, Australia looks hot. 97 degrees. '89. Yeah. Yes, sir. Cold, baby. Cold. Cold some places, hot in the other. Well, so I guess this about wraps it up for today's installment of Talking About It. So with that said, all the usual stuff. Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, and we'll see what's going on tomorrow. All right. Peace. Have a good day.